head bobbing.
Yeah.
Now that was a 360 foot out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If anybody wants live Cal Raleigh updates from the day we're podcasting, that was a 360 foot out.
Man. Guys, just
Nobody wants Cal Raleigh updates right now. He's in a hell of a slump right now. I mean, I can't really complain after he hit like 38 home runs that he's in a slump, but
he's in it. He's in a slump now. He got the well.
Yes, we watch baseball.
It's true, we do. Dan watches considerably more than I, but on the occasion that I get a chance to watch some baseball, there's baseball to be watched.
But you know what we like better than baseball?
What's that, Dan?
Apple pie.
Oh yeah, apple pie is
and
delicious.
Chevrolets.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, that was how the commercial went, but that's not what we like. We like comic books.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Because they're fun.
But I like these comic books. Yeah.
Because
I like
cool?
these comic books. Yeah, like this one.
This one? Oh yeah.
Adventure Comics 253.
Mm-hmm.
Validus on the cover.
Yes.
Zapping Superboy.
Zap.
Crushing Cosmic Boy.
Ah.
Punching Pharaoh Lad.
Punch.
Stepping on Sunboy, presumably.
Oh.
Actually, Sunboy's about to get manoed.
Yeah, he is.
And what's Projector doing? She's just standing there.
She's standing there. She's like, "Oh no, everybody's
That is a little bit
over."
Kurt Swan is a little bit disappointing. Like, I know you always drew the men as the more powerful characters because obviously the Emerald Empress is just standing around there too. But it was a little disappointing because last issue, even though Persuader grabbed her at the end of the scene,
yeah,
Jim Shooter, who wrote this when he was 14, made Projector into pretty much a badass.
He did.
I mean, she was using her projection powers. And I would say, confidently, until Paul Levitz reworked Projectra into Sensor Girl, nobody used her as well
as we see here
in that issue. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, maybe a couple other issues, but used her in a way that really showed out her power. I mean, she has the power to. She's a mentalist, right? She has the power to make you think that
whatever
you're
she
in
wants.
Something that is real, around you. That's a pretty ridiculously good power.
It's a wild one.
I think one of the things when they made her Sensor Girl in the 80s, though, is she was wearing a mask and the villains didn't know she was Projectra. I do think if you have that power, you probably shouldn't tell people that that's your power.
True. Keep that under wraps. Use it when you need to, but don't let anybody know.
That'd be like something a villain would do. Like, ha ha ha, I have this power, and then
look what I can do.
Yeah.
And goes full story on
it. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is we have an amazing Kurt Swan cover.
Yeah. It's very Kurt Swan. You got all the dudes looking the same.
Except the poor Persuader and his bald head.
Yes, that's true.
Well, I guess he sort of likes like Pharaoh Lad.
He kind of does.
Same hairstyle.
And suit.
Suit.
They're the same.
Yeah.
Same dude.
That's hadn't considered that until just now, ever in my life. But
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'll never unsee that. Well, we have an issue brought to you by one Jim Shooter and one Kurt Swan again.
Yeah.
And we also have the whole same crew. George Klein is inking Kurt Swan. Milt Snappin is lettering. Do you think he snapped while he lettered, or
he's just snapping away? I don't know. I think, I mean,
we'll have to ask Mr. Orachevsky
if he knows the truth.
Yeah, or if he can snap while lettering.
Can you snap while lettering? I don't know if you can.
And Mort Weisinger, the evil one.
The evil one.
Well, he has some bad history. I don't know. We're trying to honor Jim Shooter, so I stayed away from some of the controversial stuff the last couple episodes. I sort of hinted at it by picking, I would say, the most GLB EQI friendly
Mm-hmm.
character.
The Grimbor?
Yeah. But there's some rumors that Jim wasn't so friendly to
Ah,
to gay
people.
concepts in comics and Marvel
Yeah.
when he was the editor in chief. I don't know if it was a product of the time or not, but who
Might have
knows?
been. But
I'm not here to put the guy that can't defend himself on trial today.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I am going to point out a couple of problematic things. And Mort Weisinger, one of the
Mm.
problematic things that we have here, I want to start before we start with Pharaoh Lad and the issue here,
All right.
and Cosmic Boy and Sun Boy and Superboy and Projector, because on this cover it says one of the Legionnaires on this cover will die. You'll be shocked by the
No.
identity of the doomed Legionnaire.
Oh my gosh.
And
Could it be?
it is 1960, what, 5 here? 6?
Mm-hmm.
1960. We established this last episode. It's
Yeah.
1967 February cover date, which means this would have been written and drawn in 1966.
Yeah.
And there are rumors
Yeah.
that Jim Shooter wanted Pharaoh Lad to be an African American character.
Mm.
And that one Mr. Weisinger would not allow it.
He said no.
And that's the rumors.
Interesting.
We don't get a African American character in the Legion until I believe E. Nelson Bridwell is the editor of the Superman comics. When we get Ty Rock, who
Tyra.
another story for a different day.
A different day.
Yeah, I can't. The Ty Rock story with Mike Grell, I think we've talked about it before.
A little bit.
Someday, I would love to get Mr. If Mr. Grell ever wanted to do a podcast with us, I'd love to get him on to talk about that.
Be awesome.
But honestly, we shouldn't talk about that. We should let him talk about Warlord or something cool he created.
True. That Warlord would be
But
awesome.
anyway, yeah, that would be. They actually are doing they have a omnibus for Warlord out now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's finally some Grell stuff going out from that time period. That's not green and arrowy.
Mm-hmm. Some of the other stuff that's a little more, hey, check this out. And you're like, whoa, Space Pirates?
Yeah, well, and I bought the John Sable omnibus through Kickstarter. Both of them. So that's cool. But yeah, anyway, the more Grell we can have in the universe, the better. And in this case, I turned the page here.
Okay.
And the first thing I saw,
Mm-hmm.
I need to buy this for $1.
Okay.
I can buy the Unbeatable Self-Defense Made Easy Ketsugo.
Ketsugo.
Only $1.
Dang. Would you bring that in?
I'm going to go, well, it says that Ketsugo has the powerful choice secrets of karate, aikido, ate wazo. I don't even know what that is. Judo, yawaro. Do you know what that is?
Yawario.
Jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
And Savat.
Some people call me a Savat.
Yeah, Savat died swimming away from the fight, if I remember correctly.
Oh. Savat. Anyways. Did he?
The same?
I mean, both are silly sometimes.
Reduce any assailant to cringing helplessness in seconds. Learn by yourself. In just 1 week.
Oh.
Do you think Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul would, what do you think Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul would think of this?
Ketsugo?
In just 1 week, it says I could render people helpless in seconds.
If
confidence. Fear no men.
I mean, like, honestly, if it's like just how to punch below the belt and always land your hit, then I bet you could always win.
Oh, there we go. Maybe I'll try that on Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul. What do you think?
I'd pay to see it.
You'd pay to see that.
I would.
Grinning, like your facial expression and your statement are contradicting each other. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, Greg's grin is looking like I would be murdered, which is correct.
I think what would happen is you'd punch him in the crotch. He would drop like a sack, and then he would think about how to get you back after that for days. And it wouldn't be enacted until you weren't paying attention, and then all of a sudden something would happen and Paul would do something, and it would be way out of left field.
And we all know Paul has a better attention span than I do, so that's just fact.
I mean, if he wasn't thinking that you're gonna go for a crotch shot right off the bat, and like all of a sudden, like you just like come up, you do your bow, and then you just like come up and you're like, pop, just like that, and he just drops. Because I mean, instantaneously, it's a given fact. There's the recovery rate is like, I mean, it's minutes, not seconds. So he's done.
Well,
I have a feeling.
Want to learn. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I have a feeling I know what he would do. I know exactly what he'd do to get you back. He would find a place that only you would want to go to, and you'd be so excited to go there. And then you would get there, and they'd be all out of fish. That's right. He would take you to fish.
We don't ever want to go to fish, ever, and it's closed. And you're bringing back up an old joke that the listeners don't even know about. They don't understand the fish joke. So we're going to transition on. But I will just say, if you want a cold and calculating lawyer that can help you out in times of trouble, you can have jiu-jitsu lawyer Paul. Paul, this is your last advertisement on this podcast because we've got to move on. But you can find him on Bridgeport and 27th in University Place. Some people call that road Jackson. It just depends on where you're at in Tacoma.
It's true.
It also has like 5 other names. So there you go. Anyway, we are looking at the Tales of the Legion of Superheroes, guest starring Superboy. Mm-hmm. Yes, I didn't say starring Superboy. But Superboy is the acting leader. We have Cosmic Boy, the master of magnetism. Mm-hmm. Princess Projector, a creator of illusions.
Ooh.
Sunboy, living beacon of heat and light.
Wow.
Pharaoh Lad, who can turn to solid iron.
Oh.
And then we have the Fatal Five. Tharok, half man, half robot. Mano, whose hand mono. I'm saying it wrong.
Mono?
I said Mano.
Mono.
Should be Mono. Yeah. Whose hand disintegrates anything. Some gym shooter was taking Spanish class.
Mango.
Emerald Empress.
Mango.
Why are you drinking White Claw? Just stop it. Okay.
It's they didn't have my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, quit telling jokes from other things. I'm getting the Fatal Five out here. Emerald Empress, mistress of the mighty Emerald Eye, the Persuader, owner of the invincible axe. That's the atomic axe. Perhaps after you drink a White Claw, you'll have an atomic something happening too.
Yeah.
And Validus, whose brain flashes lightning. And then it says, how do you not let me get all this out? This is the best intro page ever. Can you imagine the FBI teaming up with the Mafia? In fact, yes, I can, because that came true. Can you picture Uncle? That's U, period, N, period, C, period, L, period, E, period. Do you know what that is, Greg?
Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yes. It was a TV show and then a movie with a cannibal starring against Harry Cavill.
Oh, okay. And making a pact with Thrush.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That must be Uncle's enemy. Pretty unlikely, eh?
Yeah.
But no more unlikely than what's happening here. The Legion of Superheroes forming an alliance with the Fatal Five. Their objective to destroy the monstrous Sun Eater that's about as easy as catching a tiger with a butterfly net.
That would be pretty hard.
This time, all the superheroes can't possibly come out of the battle alive. One is fated to be the doomed Legionnaire.
Mm.
And in fact,
one
of these Legionnaires is going to die.
Dun, dun, dun.
In this issue. And for realsy die, like not come back.
Done. Never to be seen or heard from again.
Well, there was 0 hour.
Well, it's true.
But anyway, we get the squarest background ever. I will say, like, Kurt Swan feature scenes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that the indie comic we read, was it Critical Hit?
Okay. Yeah.
That had the really square backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
We liked the story. Was it
Yeah.
Crit?
Yeah, Crit. It was the one that was based off an art, like they played an RPG and then they wrote it up as a comic.
Yeah, we had fun with it.
Yeah.
But it had really square backgrounds.
Yeah. Superhero RPG.
And I know this is Silver Age art, and this is expected. There's a lot of pink and red and green squares and backgrounds here on the next couple pages. And I'll just tell you, right? Like, not to appreciate another person that passed away, gosh, over a year ago, right? Longer. But with Keith Giffen's Legion art, just stands out as so good when you look at it compared to this art, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's different. It's very different.
The background art. I want to emphasize the background art.
The background art, yeah.
I'm not saying Kurt Swan's faces and bodies and stuff like that aren't perfect for the time period.
Mm-hmm. No, and I made
Kurt Swan's Superman is great.
And I made a very tongue-in-cheek joke last week about the backgrounds. I was like, oh, and the backgrounds.
Yeah.
And it was like, they're depending on what he's drawing, some of them are fantastic, some of them are yeah,
meh.
It's like a background.
Meh. Well, we get a recap page with a lot of words.
It is so many words.
And if you didn't buy the previous issue, you are now caught up.
You are caught up because it is everything in 6 panels. The whole dang book right there. Jim Shooter killed it.
And then we get a couple pages of power demonstrations, which I'm not going to read all of to you.
It's crazy though, because it's like their whole entire, I mean, we're not going to go through it, but it's basically like Mano is like, show me what you can do. And the Legion's like, what do you want us to do? And he's like, not you idiots, the bad guys.
Yeah. And yeah, Therok's testing their powers, Mono and
I said
Persuader
Mono. Yeah, sorry.
You said Mano. It's okay. I think we can say it however we want to.
Yeah, no. I meant Therok was telling them that that's what I meant.
Oh yeah, Therok, but Mano was the first one to jump up and do it, and then they get in this cool fight. And I will say, now here's one on page 5, that panel where the axe goes against the hand.
Yeah.
I really love that art.
Yeah, no, it's like, I mean, the art for the fight scene is like really good. It's engaging. It's like, ooh, what's going on? There's a lot of action. It's fun.
And it makes sense for the Superman artist to be able to draw action scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the backgrounds are trash, but
it's a color wall.
Yeah. But the action scenes and the poses and everything and the fighting is really cool. Like, I really like it.
I mean,
and then after they fight on page 6, Validus gets really upset and is like, no more fighting, and starts zapping everybody. And Superboy has to put his indestructible cape on his head.
Like a hat.
Yeah,
puts a little hat on him, like a parrot. Put him to bed.
I always liked the Superboy indestructible cape for some reason. I'm not sure why. I just always thought it was really cool.
It is.
I get
cool.
it now. I think it's less cool now. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought the indestructible cape was super cool.
Why don't you like it now?
I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of Superman stuff in the Silver Age that was MacGuffin-y and lazy writing. And so, the Superboy, throw his cape on anything. It will stop anything. It's just, it's kind of lazy writing. But, it's nothing the grown-up adult writers weren't doing. So I'm not going to criticize Jim Shooter for it. We have a creepy turn of events come up next where Mono is getting a little handsy with the doors. But before we do that, we get an advertisement. We get a Christmas advertisement for Peace on Earth.
Oh, yeah. Which I'm like, I saw that and I was like, yo, DC, you're woke before woke.
Oh yeah, if anybody's saying Superman is woke now, we've
Yeah,
literally got
no.
peace on Earth written in like every language. Well, not every
Every
language, but
language.
many,
It
many of
is.
them.
It actually. I mean, it's super nice. It's super great, and it's like
It's a
this
really
was
cool ad.
60 what 68, 67. Done in 66. So I mean, that's really inclusive and really cool to see. You know. So I mean, folks, it's not just for the airport bathrooms that you see everything in different languages. It's in DC Comics as well. What?
Wow, wow.
I
I hope your brain wasn't going where my brain just went with that. Anyway,
no, no. I don't. Um, we don't share the same brain, folks. So I don't know what Dan was thinking.
oh no, no, like it wasn't not. People are gonna think it was some sort of gay joke that I was thinking for. No, no, that's not what I was thinking. Those I instantly went to those multiple language things in the bathrooms at the airport
Yeah.
that tell people to protect themselves from trafficking.
Oh, I meant like it's like when you go to
That's
the
where my
like on
brain
the
went really dark.
no,
Yeah,
no,
like
like
when
on
you
the
come in from an international flight, it says in the
yeah.
bathroom like who to call
I
in
was like
like a
talking
whole
about the
bunch of
hand
languages.
washing for the hand washing and stuff
Yes.
like that and all that other stuff.
Yes. Yeah,
But
and just
yes,
to be
but
clear, everyone, I was not gonna make like who was that senator that went to the Minnesota airport
oh, a couple years ago,
to
sat
cruise?
in a weird way. Yeah,
More than a couple years ago. It's
yeah.
been a long time.
It's been a hot minute, but I can't
But
remember the
anyway, I
name.
was not going to that joke. I was like,
Oh, okay.
when you said that, I was like, Greg, please say Greg's not talking about the.
No, no, I'm talking about the hand washing and use the soap and all that other
Yes,
stuff.
I
Use the soap.
understand now. I was like, Well, by the way, we got a really cool advertisement for Aquaman, and then we got that was Nick Cardy drawing Aquaman, right?
I
I
believe.
think. And
I
then we
believe
get
so.
a advertisement for Sergeant Rock too,
Yeah, Sergeant Rock,
and these
80-page giant.
Renwall cars. And then
And
we get back into the story.
I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, I wanted those so bad.
The cars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they looked neat. Like I'd go to the toy shows and look for those types of car that particular brand of car because they were cool looking. They weren't like a Matchbox or a Hot Wheel. They were cooler. Anyways,
When when uh when we get to the next page after the cool advertisements,
Mhm.
Mono Mano is breaking into the Emerald Empress's room where she's staring at a photograph of Superboy.
Yeah, and it's very much like the meme of like Wolverine looking at a picture in bed. Did they get that from this issue?
Maybe. I think there's a lot from this issue that
It's
persists on.
it just moves into the next thing of something else. It's like somebody said, "Oh, that's such a good panel. Let's make that happen, but flip it."
As we go through the history of the Legion too, one of the things Jim Shooter did was really planted a lot of different things, right? And the Fatal
Mhm.
Five are used forever. The Emerald Empress is used forever. And I think one of the things too is as a kid, Paul Levitz was reading these books.
Mhm.
And then when he recreated the Fatal Five,
Mhm.
when he recreated the Fatal Five and had the Emerald Empress be the leader of the Fatal Five, she would not let Mano into the Fatal Five.
And makes sense
And it all stems
because he's a
from these
dirtbag.
pages right here. Yeah.
Because he sneaks into her room and he's like, "Hey, proposition to for you."
Yep. And I think I love that when those threads get pulled. And, I'm not a continuity Nazi here, right? But I
Mm.
love when a writer can pull a thread like this and you're like, oh, yeah, of course she wouldn't want to hang out with him.
He's a scumbag.
Well, Superboy steps in to save her, and then she has kryptonite for Superboy.
She pulls the same thing that Mano was trying to do to her on Superboy. She's like, "Hey,
Yeah, well,
we got a proposition
she's
for
bad. Because they're
you." She is
bad.
bad. She's a
They want to rule the world.
baddie.
Well, soon after Cosmic Boy rescues Superboy, we find out that Tharok has been planning because Brainiac 5 is on a deep space mission, so we don't have our smart Legionnaire, so we had to pull in the robot bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's got a plan that involves cutting up the Sun Eater into parts with the atomic axe.
Mm-hmm.
And then each person is going to attack one of the parts of the Sun Eater.
It makes sense. Everybody gets a chance to do their thing.
And now I will say...
Get to shine?
Yeah, in the part of the story that I don't like...
Okay.
I like most of this story. But somehow Tharok has figured out a way to put everybody in tubes and amplify their powers.
Yeah.
I really like most of the story, but I thought that was a little bit...
You didn't like the amplification tube power?
No, I mean, it just seemed like you don't need that in the story, and it's really cheesy. It's like, oh, out of the blue, I know how to amplify everyone's powers, including the Emerald Eye and the super giant with lightning bolts in his brain. And everybody comes out and they're like, I better turn off my magnetism because it's going to tear everything apart.
It's true. It would.
And Sunboy is saying flame on. I mean, bursting into flame. He wouldn't say flame on because that would mean he was with a different company and they might get in trouble. It's almost like having a boy that turns... It's almost like having a boy named Pharaoh lad.
Yeah? I don't get it.
It could get you into trouble.
How?
It might be similar to something else in a different company.
No, not at all. That guy is a man. This dude is a lad. That dude is iron. This guy is iron. Pharaoh. And the other guy is just iron. And he's just wrapped in it. Yeah. Two different things.
Completely.
But different, but the similar. Not
different,
the same.
Similar.
But not, yeah.
Well, anyway.
Like plastic, elastic, whatever.
Well, the villains have a meeting, and in this meeting, they decide that Persuader decides he doesn't like being bossed around, and we find out that Tharok has put a suggestion into Validus, which is why he amplified everybody's powers. So now he controls Validus, you see.
Dog. Man.
Well, first off, we go to the next page, and we got to see if the plan can be implemented. Okay. And before you find out if the plan can get implemented, I have something to share with you from
share it.
The beautiful Legion Companion by Tomorrow's Publishing. Is that not beautiful, by the way?
It is. It
is pretty stunning, just the cover. But we had an interview with Mr. Shooter a long, long time ago. And he says... I spent a while acquiring Marvel Comics. This would be middle 60s, I guess, 64 or 65. So this is when he was like 11 and 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I thought I was ready, I wrote a script for Legion of Superheroes.
Okay.
Why did I pick them? Because I thought that was one of the lamest comic books on Earth. The ones I had been reading around that time were created... I created this were the old John Fort comics. He was a very nice man and everything, but the drawing was kind of stiff and wonky. The covers were always great because a lot of them were Kurt Swan. And the stories never lived up to them. So I thought I'll do one for the Legion, his pitch of superheroes. That way I'll show what a difference I can make. I don't know what a script looked like, so I actually drew little panels and balloons and made it look as much like a comic as I could. I couldn't draw very well, but enough so that they could understand the Superboy and that's Lightning Lad and all that. And then I sent it in and got back a letter, and the letter said, "This is very good. And someday maybe I could, quote, draw a feature for DC." It was signed by editor Mort Weisinger, and he invited me to send more like I'd sent. That's how he got started, because he thought the Legion of Superheroes were the lamest comic. And he'd been reading the Marvel books, which makes sense, right? And so, yeah, I think one of the things here you can start to see early on in the Shooter Legion is he's trying to give the characters some personality.
Mm-hmm.
and he'll continue to do that, right?
Yeah.
And start to make them a little bit more distinct. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you see it as much with the heroes in this book as you do the villains.
Oh, yeah. No, the villains definitely have a lot more personality per se, where the heroes
Yeah.
are. It's suggested that you already know what they are, who they are. He really wants you to get to know the villains, to really buy into who they are and what they do, why they're bad, and why you should like them.
Yeah.
Or not like them, but why they would be chosen for this job.
And so, and I like that. I like that character. And
Yeah.
again, those characters have persisted over time. Even
Mm-hmm.
without a Legion book, those characters persist, which
They're
says a
just like
lot
Jurassic Park.
about
They find a way.
they find a way. I mean,
They find a
it just
way.
says a lot. One more thing about Jim Shooter I think people don't understand is that his family was in a desperate financial situation when he started writing comics.
Oh
And he
yeah.
said, they won't give you a job in the steel mill at 14. You
Mm.
can't get a job. The only hope is to make something and sell it. Yeah, I could deliver newspapers and make $5 a week. So what could I make? I wasn't going to weave any baskets. And I had no
Mm.
idea then and saw these comics and thought, oh, that's an idea. It was
Mm.
like an act of desperation. And the money that I brought in kept us going. It kept the wolves from the door. So my mother thought it was great. My father wasn't the talkative type. He didn't say a whole lot about it, but I'm sure he was happy that I was doing something and it was going well and I had nothing but support. But that's
Yeah,
kind of crazy. Like he was
it
literally
is.
going to high school and drawing comic and writing and drawing comics and sending
Mm-hmm.
them to DC so his family could eat.
That it's very inspirational. Like I mean,
Yeah,
in a sense. I mean, yeah, I'm not poking at it. I'm like
not
that
it's
is like
wild.
it's like whoa. This kid saw a way to make life better for him and his family by doing something that he wanted to do and found a way to do it.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. Uh, so we get back to the story here,
Mm-hmm.
and we get the Sun Eater, and Sun Boy uses amplified power to get the Sun Eater to move toward him and away from the sun.
Well,
We do have a letter column,
mm-hmm.
and I will say, like, they seem to be big fans of the Jim Shooter books in the letter column.
Yeah. Did you have a letter that you wanted to share?
Not really. I was just gonna say that overall. Well, here's this one here. While leafing through my collection of adventure comics, I'm amazed at how much the Legion has changed. Take issue 267, for example. This one, some time before a regular Legion series started with number 300. Saturn Girl is emitting lightning bolts from her eyes. Her hair is blonde and long. So he's kind of going on about this. All in all, the Legion has changed for the better. And if you ever drop this series, as you did the Bizarros, I will come down and picket your office, from Liz Kane of East Meadow, New York. So Liz Kane stuck up for Jim Shooter and the Legion books. Very big fan.
Good stuff.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
We like you, Liz. Thank you so much for your words, and appreciate that you enjoyed the books because
And if you ever attack Gotham City, I'll be very sad, Ms. Kane.
She probably did.
See, I know a little bit of Batman universe, folks. I'm not totally Batman hater. Actually, I am. All right. So anyway, Slain by Sun Eater, part 2.
No,
All right.
my
So
God.
the plan seems to be working amazing. So far, we've gotten the Sun Eater to go away from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
The Persuader takes his atomic axe and he cuts the Sun Eater into pieces.
Oh my goodness.
And Validus starts
Chopping it up.
attacking the Sun Eater with his lightning bolts from his brain. And it doesn't go well.
No, it doesn't. He is worked.
Yeah.
It's like
We are,
it's almost like, okay, to put into to to put it into retrospect for folks. I mean, for me, I was reading this and I was like, he's like the big bad. You're like you're supposed to be so big bad. Jobber.
Yeah, he's
Jobber.
It's either that or it's kind of like when in movies have a big bad from the previous movie, but the big bad goes down in the first scene in the next movie. Say Star Wars Episode 1 and Episode 2.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
One Count Dooku.
Yeah, Count Dooku. Man, Count Dooku down and out.
Was it Count Dooku or was it? Do I have the right character even?
No, Dooku was like, yeah, he comes out strong and swinging and boom, out, done
in like a minute. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Validus does the same thing, and he's done in like a minute, and it doesn't look good for the rest of him because Therok's back at Master Control, going, "Oh my gosh, the mightiest of all of us was defeated in like a couple of seconds, looking bad." Nothing like great layouts when you have to draw arrows to get people to understand where to go on the comic book page, which happens on 2 straight pages.
I know. Well, it helped me. It helped me because I was like, where do I go? What do I do? Oh, thank God these arrows are here.
Yeah, I'm just saying the layouts probably should be in a fashion where you don't have to have arrows. I think it would be my argument there. But anyway, Superboy goes after the Sun Eater, and it's lighting him on fire, and then he starts to dissipate it, but it's eating some red suns. Uh-oh.
No!
Bromp. Now Superboy is unconscious, and the Sun Eater doesn't care about him. So now Cosmic Boy goes after the Sun Eater, which makes some sense. He should be able to pull it apart with his magnetism, right?
Yeah.
That makes some
he's
sense.
He's like a DJ. He's mixing up the 1s and 2s over there.
But that doesn't work at all.
No. Wow.
And then the Emerald Empress goes after the Sun Eater. I feel like the Emerald Eye probably could take out the Sun Eater. We don't know much about the Emerald Eye yet, though. So.
I think it's pretty strong. I think we might see something here, Dan. What do you think?
I think she's got her eye on the prize, Greg.
Do you think she's got her eye on the prize? Well, let's see what happens in the next panel.
I don't know. Maybe she can see it. Maybe she can't.
Well, it looks like we see that she gets her ass handed to her.
Oh, you mean she didn't? She turned away?
Yeah, she turned away the last second. Jobber!
Yeah. Well, Princess Projectra, I don't know if this is... Thera claimed he had a sound strategy, and so Princess Projectra does some Calosaurs, which devour energy, and the Sun Eater doesn't seem to care.
No.
She's about to get incinerated by the Sun Eater, and here comes Validus to save the day. And Validus...
He was down, but he's not out.
He looks a little less charred. There's one panel where he doesn't look charred at all.
I mean, he had some baby wipes in his little pouch. He cleaned himself up real quick, did a little Irish bath, and then he's back to the mats. Yeah, he's ready to go.
Is that on the inker or is that on the penciler?
Maybe both.
Yeah.
They didn't spot those blacks.
While Mano tries to destroy the Sun Eater, and he goes to destroy it with his hand, and the Sun Eater divides into 6 parts and then zaps him.
Oh, man. Oh.
And so we're down to Pharaoh Lad, who seems like a good idea for
fighting the sun.
Well, he goes into the Sun Eater and he dives in. He turns into white molten iron, and he sees a like atom-looking thing in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of those things where you like a gyroscope where you pull the ripcord on it, spins around real fast, and it's like stands up on its little peg.
Maybe
that's what I think.
But he thinks maybe that's the core of the Sun Eater. What if he destroys the core?
Yeah,
he'd be okay. But he gets zapped out by the Sun Eater too. He gets zapped when he sees the core. So we are down to, another advertisement, but we've got a hot rod dragster and some really cool pinups.
Hell yeah. They're pretty cool.
Is that a Neil Adams Joker up there?
I think it might be. For $1, dude, I'd be buying that. I'd be buying them all.
At the time,
I know, at the time, anyway, $1 was a lot of money.
Remember, $1.75 could get you all the year's worth of adventure comics.
Yeah, I mean, that's like $1 back then was you're looking at like inflation is probably a good $15.
Well, we get back together with the kids here and the evil villains.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sun Eater is going back to attack the sun.
Damn it.
Soul.
And
we find out that Theroch has devised another plan. And this other plan is to put the Absorbatron bomb.
Yeah. And it's got a smiley face on it.
Absorb the Sun Eater's power. The Absorbatron bomb. But he has not had time to build the delivery system.
I felt like you're going to bust into Orgasmatron.
Yeah, no. Not in these pure stories here.
Not in these pure stories,
so,
okay.
There's no delivery system, so very quickly,
yeah,
Superboy's like, I'll go, I'm invulnerable. Even though it was very clear he wasn't invulnerable literally 2 pages ago.
2 pages ago, he was tossed.
So Pharaoh Lad punches him because he's still weak from the red sun, establishing that he's indeed not invulnerable at all.
Take that, you punk.
And he flies out of the airlock, and he flies into the Sun Eater, and the bomb goes off. And
Boom.
Pharaoh Lad is dead.
Dead. Gone. He's
dead.
No more.
As in, dies on panel.
Dies on panel, turns into a giant rainbow. Crosses over.
Yeah. Really dead.
It's pretty wild because that is not normal. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, if you were a 12-year-old reading this comic.
Yeah. You'd lose your
He dead.
He did.
How did this get past your code?
Someone
this is killing kids. I mean, this isn't like House of Mystery or something like that. This is like we just killed a teenager in a comic.
This is a teenage superhero dying on panel. Yeah, it slipped in because he did it for the greater good, right?
So, I think maybe well. He did it. He saved the galaxy, but at what cost, says Projectra. Superboy says he gave his life willingly, as any Legionnaire would. Cosmic Boy, who clearly could have prevented this tragedy.
Yeah.
Because, he has magnetic powers, and
right.
He's literally the only one that could have stopped Pharaoh Lad when he dove out of the thing. Says his Legion career was a brief one, but his courage will never be forgotten. Well, I hope not, because you literally let him die. So
you let him fly and die.
And then we get, with their comrades' death weighing heavily on their hearts, the Legionnaires turn to leave, and they say, "You outlaws will receive your pardons by a UP messenger soon. You can live decent, normal lives with no fear of the law," says Superboy. And the villains are like, "Ha ha ha, we don't want to do that.
Joke's on you."
And they chain them up.
Oh.
I would say Grimbor would be very proud of this chaining that's going on.
Oh, yeah. He would have been so stoked. He's like, wait, you were ready with chains? That's my thing, but I'll let it slide because good plan. I like it. Right?
But as they're about to murder the Legion, the part of the Legion that's there, the 5.
The 5.
Not the whole Legion, which is like 23.
Yes.
Validus, Projector appeals to Validus and said, "You risk your life to save mine. Can you kill me now? Fight off Theroch's evil influence. You can do it. Try. You can do it." And Validus and Theroch's like, "Validus, destroy them. You have no choice." Validus is like, "No, I can't." And he zaps at the Fatal 5. His lightning bolt hits the atomic axe.
Oh.
And All of them disappear. And Projector says, just to establish the difference here, are they dead?
Oh.
And Superboy is like, who can say? Could even that terrible onslaught have destroyed Validus, or could it have burst a dimensional barrier that sent them into all into some sort of limbo? Whatever their fate, for some strange reason, I feel like we haven't heard the last of the Fatal Five. But right now, we have something to prepare.
Dinner?
And we flip the page, and we see the tribute to Pharaoh Lad, who's going off to the satellite Shanghala to have his rocket being sent there, next to Lita 87, who slipped on a banyo peel and ended her early superhero career. And if you don't believe me, look it up.
It's true, folks.
Because Dan knows. You know I know Legion.
Dan knows.
I know all about my Shanghala monuments. But this one says, in memoriam, Andrew Nolan, Pharaoh Lad, a mutant whose non-human face was kept hidden behind a mask, he gave his life to save the galaxy. I'm getting chills. I just got goosebumps.
Oh, yeah. This
one's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is sad, man.
And the rest of the Legion came back, and yeah, it's not a... But good job, Jim Shooter. 14-year-old Jim Shooter.
I know.
Good night. Jeez.
It's a good story. It's a nice piece.
So I did say after the story too, I was going to talk a little bit of little numbers here, which I know gets everybody super excited.
Yeah,
number one,
numbers.
Yeah. Do you want to hear about what else was on sale this month? I won't read them all this month, but I can show you.
Give us a couple.
Supergirl's greatest exploits. Supergirl's greatest exploits with her super friends. That's the theme on the April 80-page giant, number 347.
80-page giant.
It's the newsstand. That's Action Comics. You are cordially invited to the wedding of Jimmy Olsen and Lucy Lane.
What?
In the 100th issue of the Red Hair Reporter's Mag.
It's
not an imaginary tale, but a genuine 24-karat, 100% marriage.
Our little boy is all grown up, people.
So, the Green Lantern, number 51, pretty near the first appearance of Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Is Green Lantern's evil alter ego, the arch villain the Emerald Crusader has to defeat, but doesn't dare to.
Oh.
So we got some problems going on there. But, my friends, we have some circulation numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And
what's hot and what's not?
We have date filing October 1st, 1966. Title of the publication, Adventure Comics. And we have a paid circulation of 472,000. And the single issue nearest the filing date had a paid circulation of 514,000 comics. Just imagine that. It is literally 10 times what you get out of your best comics that are sold now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Though the Superman movie, I was reading an article today that the Superman movie has spurred interest, in local comic shops are having people come in wanting to read Superman stories, which is fantastic. You got to love it. When they do a movie right, they can actually spur interest in these rags that I have, which
my gosh. Yeah, and then people are going to go back and read the other stories, the old ones.
Yeah, consequently, before I get into the rest of the numbers here, you can see that my copy of this book is very terrible.
Better than my copy.
If someone has one they want to send me, or... No, I will also say, if you have a better version of this one out there and you want to sell it, reach out to me. I would take a better version of 352 or 351 or 352 and 353. I'd happily take both off your hands if you're wanting to get rid of them. Yes.
So comics.
Also with this one here, so we had the paid circulation 481 on average, right? 522 for the latest issue. So wanted to bring up something Shooter said about the comics and why he got to keep his job for so long.
Yeah.
So Jim Shooter would write comics for several years, right? And then go to college. So then he'd stop writing for a while, and then he'd come back to DC and write the gems that we saw, like it's back in its home. See, okay.
Mm-hmm. Back in its home.
They're both back in their home.
Good.
They're both
Good
back in their home.
Safe and sound.
So
they can go to sleep tonight.
But they ask him, did you ever give, the question in the interview is, did DC ever give you a sense of where the Legion was in their hierarchy at the time? And there was some controversy because they would get moved to Action Comics as backup, and it was because they thought Supergirl would sell more.
Oh.
And here's Jim Shooter's take on that. He wasn't a big fan of that, obviously, writing the book. But when they went to Action, he got to write some of the Superman stories. So, you know, he got to write Superman, so I didn't complain. But anyway, he said, you read the sales figures which were published in the books, just like we just did. And when I started writing Legion of Superheroes, it was selling about 500,000 copies a month, which is what we just saw. 5 years later, when I stopped writing it, the last issue also had a statement of ownership in it. And it was selling about 500,000 copies a month. During that time, Superman went from something like 1.25 million down to around 500, 600,000. And by the way, if you understand that, that was when, so that would have been 6 years from, that would have been 5 years from now. So that would have been when Spider-Man passed Superman as the best-selling comic. So,
gotcha.
So the time frame all lines up. And during that time, Superman went from, we said that. So practically every other book that DC published fell dramatically. So by holding my own, I actually doing very well. At the same time, Marvel was sort of taking off and taking market share away from DC. DC was just living in the past. They were still doing comics for 8-year-olds, and Marvel had sort of seized the initiative there. But in the hierarchy of DC, the Superman family of titles was the cream of the crop, and the number one was Superman. Number two was Action. And then I believe by the end of my run, I believe Adventure Comics with Legion was an easily number 3, maybe number 2. And that was true. And what DC did then was said, okay, well, now that Adventure's selling, we want to maintain those sales. So we're going to move Supergirl and feature Supergirl as the lead in Adventure. And they moved Legion to backups in Action. And that did not work. Supergirl starred in the book for a couple years, and then Adventure became a book of a lot of different things, including Aquaman, Prince Starman, not Prince as Starman, but the Prince Starman.
Prince as Starman? Oh my gosh.
And a lot of different things. You saw one of those books when I bought it at SummerCon. I bought 3 of those. That co-featured Aquaman and some other heroes. And we did get some cool things show up in Adventure. We got the relaunch of the Golden Age Spectre showed up in Adventure later on. But eventually, Adventure Comics would die out. It would end its run in digest size, consequently repeating and reprinting Legion of Superhero stories in digest size. Just a testament to what Jim Shooter did with the book. And when they end the book, they end up reprinting a bunch of his stories.
I have a bunch of the digest.
I do too. I wish that was one of the things we talked about, because I was buying digests and I didn't know you had them, and I just would have taken them from you.
No, I can't give them to you. They're mine.
You would give me Legion digests.
No.
Yes, you would.
They're mine.
You would give them to me.
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine.
I would rehome them for you. So anyway, with that said, we got. That ends our little tribute to Jim Shooter. I know. Again, I understand that there may have been some problematic things that Jim Shooter did over his career. But in this case, I think taking a look back at the 14-year-old who wrote comics to put food on the table for his family is where I want to leave this one off with Jim. And we might do another Jim Shooter book again. We did get some suggestions like reading Secret Wars and things like that. And I think it would make sense to read Secret Wars down the line, since I've never read it. And taking a look at some of that stuff. I'd love to dig into some of the things that were happening during Jim Shooter's run as editor-in-chief too. Specifically in Avengers, I mentioned wanting to take a look at Ms. Marvel at the time. / Photon. And finding out like the origins of that character and how we were promoting, going back to what Jim Shooter wanted to do with Pharaoh Lad, right? Like increasing the presence of African-American heroes in comics and under his editorial watch. So, there are some things there that I might want to go back and look at. But for now, I just want to leave it on a kid who wrote comic books, for me, a kid to read, that as a kid, I scoured O'Leary's books trying to get the Legion books and read these old ones over and over again too, and thought they were great, and was sad when Pharaoh Lad died, and had to look up what Pharaoh was.
What is Pharaoh?
Yeah. I don't understand. Why is he turning to iron?
Oh my goodness, that's what it means.
And the Persuader.
Persuader. I love it.
So, anyway, you get a little glimpse into little Danny Shabbat and his comic books, and there we go. So, anyway, when I close this one out, I want to shout out and thank Anne for letting you do the podcast on an off night tonight. So, and that would be Anne at the Retro Emporium on Meeker Street in Kent, Washington. Go relive your childhood. I'm sure Anne would like us to stop podcasting now since she's taking the day off and probably wants to hang out with you. So we'll shut up soon. But thank you, Anne, for letting us do the podcast, and go check out Relive Your Childhood there. Go smell the Fruit Loops. And if you find basically something you should know about Anne is her phone was stolen recently. And that's because the Squatcho Man was not there.
It's true.
Serving as the employee of the month, taking care of her phone. And I know you never met the Squatcho Man because you're never in the room at this. Every time I see the Squatcho Man, you're gone. And I never see you all in the same place at the same time. But if I was going to talk to the Squatcho Man again, I'd really want to tell him that you dropped the ball, Squatcho Man.
He did, if he was there. But he wasn't. It's summertime. He's out.
Well, no, he didn't even bother to show up for work. That's the problem.
I know. Well,
he's the former employee of the month. He has dropped the ball.
It was Sunday. Kayla was there. She was doing her art thing and talking to the people.
Then you had even more need for Squatcho Man to show up to work so Anne could focus on the store.
That's true. Well, she was focusing on the store.
Man,
she was.
I have a bone to pick with you. Next time I see you, we're going to discuss this. And we're going to consider removing you as employee of the month.
What? No, you
why
can't
does that
remove
hurt your
Squatcho
feelings? You don't even. Why does that hurt your feelings? You don't even know this man.
I think Anne actually
never
took
even
the
met
Squatcho
him.
Man employee of the month placard down because he hasn't been around.
Well, that doesn't make him not employee of the month. I mean, he still was.
It's true. He still was.
I'm going to move it retroactively.
Oh, remove it retroactively. Oh my gosh. Scrub all the photos of the store with his picture.
Yeah, it'll be like 0 hour when Pharaoh Lad shows up again. Actually, just shows up as Pharaoh. Yeah, Pharaoh Lad does eventually come back, by the way.
He's not dead.
But not this Pharaoh Lad. So in 5 year later Legion, they had the SW6 Legionnaires, which were clones. So Pharaoh Lad came back as a clone temporarily.
Okay.
And then after 0 hour, when the Legion is back in time, so the Legion is in the 20th century, which putting the Legion in the 20th century I always thought was silly. But they meet a character named Pharaoh who has a twin brother named Douglas, who
I thought you were going to say name Lad.
Yeah, which you'll recall when we read Legion of Superheroes 300.
Okay.
We did read it, right? Or did we stop at Great Darkness?
I think we might have stopped at Great Darkness.
Legion of Superheroes 300 is one of my favorite standalone books of all time.
Might have to read it.
Douglas was Pharaoh Lad's twin, Andrew's twin, and so he's going crazy because he lost his twin, and Brainiac 5 is trying to heal him. So it's an incredible story with all of these artists and flashbacks, and they brought together all these Legion artists. We're gonna have to review it someday. I'm gonna have to just give it to you, even if we don't do it on the podcast, because it's a fantastic issue. Just for the art alone, because they take all these artists from Keith Giffen all the way back to Kurt Swan and have them draw different pieces of the story.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, so they have James Sherman drawing. They have Dave Cockrum drawing. They have Grell drawing. I think they had Grell drawing. I can't remember, but I know they had Cockrum drawing in there. Anyway, it's crazy. Anyway, they do a lot, but eventually, after 0 Hour, they introduce this character called Pharaoh, and then he goes back with them to the 30th century. So that's how they sort of snuck Pharaoh back into the Legion. But yeah, it's
very cool.
It's a thing. So
okay,
there you go.
I get.
But yeah, that was the fate. So we did some plugs out of order. I ended the podcast out of order, but everything's out of order. But that's okay.
You're out of order.
Did you have anything Did you have anything you wanted to plug, my fine sir?
We plug it all the time, but Absolute Zero's Camp Launchpad, a great book for summer reading. If you have any little ones or yourself that just wants to reconnect with your fun, youthful self that went to summer camp or wanted to go to space camp, pick it up, check it out. You can find it at local comic book stores, bookstores, Amazon, wherever you get books. Graphic novel.
Now, I understand. Yeah. Now, by the way, I was wrong. There was no Mike Grell in this 300. Okay. But get this. How crazy is this? Here's your penciler lineup. Ready? Keith Giffen, Kurt Schaffenberger, Howard Bender, Kurt Swan, Dave Cockrum, Jim Sherman, and Joe Staten.
Wow. That's a list. That's a good list.
And to make it even better, Jim Sherman and Dave Cockrum inked themselves.
Yeah.
Larry Maldschat inked Giffen, so that was the art combo you liked during the Great Darkness saga.
Yeah.
Schaffenberger inked himself. Frank Giacola inked Howard Bender.
Yeah.
The only one I don't know, I should know, Dan Adkins inked Kurt Swan. And Dick Giordano inked Jim Staten.
Well, makes sense.
It's amazing that book to me isn't. I know why books aren't worth more, but it's amazing with all of that talent in that book why that book isn't worth $1,000.
Yeah.
But anyway,
$1 million.
Yeah. So if you want an easily accessible book that you can go find with crazy art in it, just go there. You go. Anyway, I got distracted with art and Legion and things like that, and so we probably should wrap this one up. But buy Absolute Zero's Camp Launchpad. Go visit the Retro Emporium. Utilize Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul for your legal services and your jiu-jitsu needs. And I'll give a shout out. Greg will be out in the community, but I am podcasting from the basement this year, so maybe you'll never see me. But
whatever. You say that? Dude, you showed up at the store just like all of a sudden, like 2 weeks ago. So you never know when you're going to see Dan. Dan just shows up sometimes.
It could happen. Pizza. Hey, I've got an Alaska 2-for-1 companion fair ticket, Greg. There are comic shows around the country. We could show up anywhere. You never know.
We could show up anywhere. We could go visit Travis.
We could.
We could.
Shout out Travis, by the way. Take care of yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
And we'll get out of here. Talk to you soon, everyone. See you next week. We don't know what we're covering yet, but we'll advertise it. Bye.
It'll be awesome.